Welcome to Huddle Up, brought to you by the Fields Huddle Group. Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
And welcome in. It is Wednesday. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, J.P. Shadrick, John Oehser in the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. Week 11 is here. The Tennessee Titans come to town this week. The Jags trying to bounce back from a blowout loss to the 49ers. A lot of talk this week about moving forward and the division games ahead in that locker room today. Finding the offensive identity or a different one from 3 points scored last week and not a lot down the field. And yes, division games the next 2 weeks, AFC North games the 3 weeks after that. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury, fieldsauto.com. And the Titans-Jaguars game is delivered by CSX. How tomorrow moves. Let's start with the biggest news, of course, away from the football field. Wide receiver Zay Jones arrested Monday on a misdemeanor domestic battery charge. In court Tuesday, released on bond after the arraignment scheduled for December 6th. Head coach Doug Peterson addressed the situation earlier today.
We've been in great communication with him, obviously since, his situation. Not much more than that, other than it's still kind of ongoing, fact-finding, all that kind of information gathering, things of that nature. But quite honestly, until we hear something, it's day to day for him.
So you can still practice?
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
So he is here. He will practice limited today?
Limited. Yep.
So
try to get him back up to speed football-wise. He's missed a few days, a few weeks, obviously, and just see where he's at.
Sorry, Coach. That's head coach Doug Peterson earlier today. John Oehser with us now, Bucky Brooks as well. And that was the big story, obviously, Monday evening and into yesterday with everything that went on, John. But now it can move maybe forward a little bit on the football side.
Yeah, and I don't think it was an entirely unexpected approach. You let the process play out, and you operate within the football approach as you would, because there's no other way to do it on that front. So not surprising, Bucky. This seems a pretty standard way of handling it.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty standard. I think the way Doug Peterson handled it is how most NFL teams will handle it. You try and get as much information as you can before you make decisions and determination on how you want to proceed. And so for Zay Jones, you kind of treat it status quo until you have a reason to act otherwise.
Right, inside the walls.
Yep.
It's amazing how routine-oriented the NFL is. You get here, you take your approach, you keep everything as normal as possible within the walls, and then once something happens outside the walls where you make a different decision, then you do that.
And the last part, too, he had been maybe trending a little bit forward the last week or so, coming off a knee injury from week 5. Not quite there yet, still limited off to the side, at least today, on Wednesday, ahead of the Titans game this week. So now, how does this Jaguars team return to work after the blowout loss to the 49ers last week, 34-3? The offense has been in the spotlight, guys, with that slow start last week. They had one long drive last week that ended in a field goal, 4 giveaways. It's a lot of the same things, John, we've been hearing, but, hey, they didn't execute any of those last week.
Well, we'll have Bucky talk about this in a second because it's his show. In talking to players in the locker room, there's not a whole lot that you change. Everybody's talking about change in approach. What can you do differently? Calvin Ridley said it, I think, in a question that you asked, JP. I asked Evan Ingram the same thing. And the theme with both of them was, look, there's not much more to say about it.
Right.
There's not much to do about it. It's all these things we've been working on. There's a faith that if you keep working it, keep doing the things that you see in practice and that you see in spots in the game, that eventually history shows with these guys that it's going to break open and they're going to be fine. I don't know what else you can really do. Are you going to practice different? Are you going to put in the old Emery and Henry? You don't trick play your way out of this. You don't gimmick approach your way out of it. You keep working and trust that good players are going to play well, Bucky.
Yeah, you do want to do that. You want to trust that the players are going to play well. From a head coaching standpoint, what you can do is try and ask the offensive coordinator and all the coaches, hey, how can we simplify to allow our guys to play fast? What are the things that we've done well to this point? Let's see if we can put together a game plan with just those things. All the plays that we've done really, really well, all the plays that we've executed superbly, and let's see if we can just win using a very small menu. And then if you have success with a smaller menu, then maybe you begin to slowly add to that. But right now, the number one thing is you want everyone on that offense, particularly your quarterback, comfortable and confident in the things that you're asking them to do. And so it might be a less is more approach against the Tennessee Titans this week, because the number one thing is, hey, let's give our guys an opportunity to play fast, and let's see if the Titans are good enough to beat us when our guys are up and going.
Offensive line under the focus this week as well after the performance against San Francisco. Really good front last week, and really a pretty good front in Tennessee still. They have players up there in the front seven, Bucky, that can bring it. So to give an opportunity to change things maybe down the field a little bit, you got to be able to block it and give your quarterback a little more time. And it takes more than just the five guys up front. It takes the tight ends and the running backs and everybody pitching in to keep him upright.
No, this is everybody, all hands on deck. And so as much as it's easy to point to the offensive line when you have a number of sacks, 5 sacks allowed, a lot of that might have been on the quarterback. What is the quarterback seeing? Is he getting the ball out of his hands? Do the routes match up with the depth of the drops? Is he leaving the pocket too soon? All those things impact the way that we on the outside may look at the game. But the coaching staff, they have to talk about everything. All 11 guys have to be on the same page. Everybody has to operate as one. And when they're operating as one, that's when you have an opportunity to have success. But right now, and let's be honest, we haven't seen that through 10 games. We haven't seen this team play at its best, and we need to see it soon.
Yeah, I think one thing that if you're looking for a bounce back game and looking for ways that the offense can get better, I think it'll help that in the Tennessee Titans, I think they're a very good defensive front. I don't know if they're as good all over the front seven because there's no Fred Warner in the game. And then on the other side of the ball, it doesn't feel like the Tennessee Titans get away from you and put pressure on you the way that the San Francisco 49ers could when the Jaguars started sluggish, and all of a sudden starting sluggish meant you're down 10-0. The Tennessee Titans on paper have been a team that allowed you to maybe work your way into the game a little more, which it feels like, frankly, this offense, unless it changes its stripes, needs a little time to work into a game. They started fast a couple of times. You know what I'm saying. They have not been up 21-0 and just sort of blitzed you out of a game yet. So I think that plays into their advantage because, as Bucky said, we haven't seen a full game. I don't know if it's realistic to expect you're going to see all systems go in the first half of the first quarter on Sunday. This is an offense that has to get it right.
Got to get it right. And so where do you start, Bucky? What is Coach Bucky Brooks? I'm going to ask the coach, Bucky Brooks, offensive coordinator, Bucky Brooks. How do you get this thing jump-started?
Number one thing is, and this is something that a lot of coaches would do. First and foremost, you have the quarterback list. Give me 12 to 15 plays that you feel great about. And you go through and you let him get his 12 to 15 plays. And then you may go to all of your individual top playmakers. So your Calvin Ridley's, your Christian Kirk's, Evan Ingram. What plays do you like? You guys give me 5 to 8 plays that are your favorites. And then you talk to the offensive line and Travis Etienne. What are the running plays that you guys like? What do we feel most confident in? And what you do is you take all that information, you try and assemble a streamlined play sheet that allows everybody to feel really, really good about what they're doing. And there's going to be some carryover. Some of the plays that Trevor likes, some of the receivers are going to like, and the ones that aren't in that group that Trevor likes, you have to throw them out. But it has to be a game plan where everybody in the huddle knows exactly what they're doing on the plays that we have on the call sheet, so we can eliminate some of the mistakes and mess-ups so everyone is on the same page. I think you start there, and then you continue to expand from that point.
I have a football 101 question for Bucky.
Oh, wow.
And probably out of the Move the Sticks podcast where you really get deep into stuff.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson talked today a little bit about the need to take some shots downfield because they really haven't been a very vertical offense yet this year. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine, Bucky, the dilemma as a play caller, because those shots down the field are a little higher risk. So you're talking about if you take shots just for the sake of taking shots, then all of a sudden you're putting yourself behind the chains. So that's sort of the give and take that a play caller's got in his head when he's calling plays, right? How do you sort of balance that? Do you just force yourself? Because I get it. If the offense isn't functioning, I've had people email me and say, why don't they just throw the ball deep on the first play of the game? Well, because you want to get into it, right? And is that as tough a balance as I'm talking about, Bucky?
I mean, it can be a difficult balance, but traditionally there are certain times when you can take shots. So normally, first play after a turnover, you take a shot. Once the ball crosses midfield, that is also regarded as a shot zone. Second or third and 1, that's when you take a shot, because if you don't get it, you have an opportunity to come back and get the first down on a run play. So if we're thinking about being more vertical, I would look for those 3 opportunities to be a chance where you call a play, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to max protect. Maybe we do a double move. Maybe we do a trick play, but something where we can push it down the field and it's low risk based on the situation. I would expect anytime we cross midfield, anytime there's a turnover where there's a huge shift in motion, you want to do that. And when you have these short yardage situations on second and third and short, you then take a shot because you know you can come back on third and fourth down and get the first down.
And at the same time, JP, not to be Mr. Negative, which I have a tendency to be.
No, of course not.
You've been struggling all year on short yardage. So, I could see why as a play caller, well, I'm struggling on short yardage. Do I want to take this shot or do I want to make sure I go ahead and get the first down? But I agree with Bucky. I think you will see shots in that situation. And again, sometimes the shots don't work. They had a trick play in.
It was open.
That was right there,
yeah.
And it just didn't quite work. So sometimes blame the play caller. Guess what? The offensive coordinator of the Bills gets fired when the quarterback has 11 interceptions. So it's always blame the coach, Bucky. But that's kind of my pet peeve, and I'm way off topic. But I can see why it's difficult, I guess is my point, to just sometimes things the fans want. Once you're in there trying to call plays and manage the situation, I think is a little tougher.
It is a little tougher, but you can't be mad because you have to remember, John, it's a player's game. This league is about the Jimmies and Joes, not so much about the X's and O's. So give your best players opportunities, and they should come through for you. But with you talk about the hesitation of the play caller, when you haven't been good in short yardage situation, it does impact how you attack pushing the ball down the field. And so now, based on what we've done, it already would make me kind of hesitant to take a shot on third down because we haven't been good on fourth down. So maybe the situation is second and 3 or fewer. That's when those shots could come, because then it'll give you 2 chances to come back and make the first down because the team hasn't been good on these short yardage situations.
When you're struggling, JP, it's always hard.
That's never easy.
That's what it is.
That's right. And we got shot zone and Emery and Henry in the first segment.
Old Emery and Henry.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know Emery and Henry. That's beyond me.
That's an old Steve Spurrier.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know if that was a Crosby, Stills, and Nash reference. I didn't know what that was.
No, Steve had a couple plays.
Hall and Oates. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, Duran. I don't know if that's a group. What am I looking out for? So I just kind of nodded my head and went along with it.
Well, we'll come back and John will go through the intricacies.
I can't even remember the old Emery and Henry.
Yeah,
they were going around the old Emery and Henry.
Of course, he sounds just like him. Bootleggers, get ready. Luke Combs is bringing 2 nights of the Growing Up and Getting Old tour to Everbank Stadium, May 3rd and 4th, 2024. Different special guests each night. Tickets on sale now. Visit everbankstadium.com. And it's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Jaguars at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you've got the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change. And mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars. That's Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
We all feel that sense of urgency as well because we all want to play great. You know, we want to be successful. We want to show the type of offense and the type of players that we have, and I feel like we really haven't this season. You know, minus a game or two or a series or two here and there. You know, I think we all have that confidence in who we can be, but we haven't done it yet. So we can't say that that's necessarily who we are yet because we haven't done it. So I think that we feel that urgency, and we know what we're capable of. But you know, we gotta figure out how to transfer all that and translate it to Sunday. And you know, I got all the confidence. I'm not concerned about us not doing that, but we do need to do it. You know, we need to play better offensively. We need to take over games. We need to not just rely on our defense to make the plays. We got to start taking over some of these games and putting teams away and on all those things that we've talked about, you know, from weeks prior, but continuing to be an emphasis.
That's the quarterback, of course. The full Trevor Lawrence press conference available at Jaguars.com or the Jaguars YouTube channel. He speaks each and every Wednesday. And be here and be loud this Sunday when the Jags take on the Titans. And join us as we celebrate Salute to Service and honor our military all game day. Seats may be sold out, but a limited number of standing room tickets are available now at Jaguars.com/tickets. Or call 904-633-2000. JP Shadrick, John Ogier, and Bucky Brooks. Divisional game. Titans coming to town. The first of two meetings against the division rivals. Jags, of course, swept the Titans last year. Finally got the win up in Nashville for the first time in a long time. And then, of course, Week 18 held on in a tight ball game. Got a defensive score to win it against Tennessee. But Bucky, you know what this Tennessee team always will be with Mike Vrabel at the helm. They're going to punch at you. And they're going to run the ball, and they're going to play some defense, certainly on the D-line, and that's kind of Mike Vrabel's makeup as a head coach. They follow the lead of the head man.
They do follow the lead of the head man. And one thing that I will say about this Titans team is you can never look at their record. You can't worry about the score. This is a team that is always going to be well prepared. They're always going to bring a high level of physicality and urgency to the field. And if you're not on your P's and Q's, man, it can be a very, very difficult game. As we saw last year when it was the winner-go-home game in the season finale. Like, that was a team that wasn't very good playing with a backup quarterback, but yet, man, it was a nail-biter. And so this will be one that could be similar if the Jaguars don't take care of business early. Coming out of my conversation post-game with Doug Peterson, the one thing that struck me is he talked about surprised by the team's lack of urgency. I think that has probably been emphasized throughout the practice week. I would expect the Jaguars to have a faster start because they've discussed being urgent, being able to kind of hit the ground running from the jump. This has to be a game where the Jaguars start fast.
Yeah, I think this is a Doug's foot in player's butt game. I mean, and he had a similar tone. I have no idea if he yelled at the team the way he did against Houston, Bucky, but certainly in the post game, he hit on the theme again of, look, these guys telling the players, you guys haven't done anything yet. This team hasn't done anything yet. And I think that is a big emphasis this week of sort of resetting and say, hey, 5 straight wins is great, but now you're 6-3. 6-3, if you don't win again, means 6-11, and that's a bad season. Point being, just so much more to do. He has talked, and this is always interesting to me, Bucky, so much about the need to have these guys completely know and buy into having to play 60 minutes. And I know it's a football cliche, but when he talks about it, he's talking about the level of intensity and focus you have to have in this league to win these close, hard-fought games. And frankly, on Sunday, to play against the best, which they didn't reach. And I'm with you. I think that's going to be a huge theme this week, and I think it's going to be something he pounds on until these guys reach that.
Yeah, yeah. In these games, when you're a really good team, you have to have what we call competitive stamina. How long can you compete at a high level? How long can you sustain your focus in a game against a top team? Can you go down by down and really focus on being at your best? Or does your mind wander? And it's really, really tough when so many players have a tough time staying on task over the course of the game to get your team to not only play with that urgency, but to play with that level of focus. The great teams, the championship caliber teams, have that high-end laser-like focus that allows you to wear the opponent down because you're on your game each and every play. The Jaguars have to get to that. We've seen that in moments during that 5-game winning streak when things were bleak and bad after the Texans lost, and they were able to kind of get it going. They now have to get back to that. But the thing I would say that is troubling, the fact that you're having to readdress this after you already had a slip up early in the year against the Texans. Now here we are 5-6 games later, and we're having to readdress something that you thought that you had already fixed. So Doug Peterson, you talk about a foot in their hind parts game. He is absolutely on a warpath. I think we definitely will have an opportunity to see the best that the Jaguars have to offer, because he certainly is going to demand it all week.
Yeah.
You buying Will Levis?
Me buying him for what? No, I'm not buying him. I'm not going to sit here and say that Will Levis is the next coming. But he's a talented quarterback who has some athleticism. He has a strong arm. The Jaguars should be able to quicken his clock in the pocket, meaning that he begins to feel the pressure. If he feels the pressure, his eyes will leave his intended target, and he'll begin to see the rush. To do that, though, you got to stop the run on early downs. You have to make Will Levis throw on downs where it's obvious passing downs. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, those downs where you can ignore Derrick Henry and really just focus on coming after the passer. If this is a game where the Jaguars are not able to control the run on early downs, that's when it becomes more difficult to stop a young quarterback. Got to take care of Derrick Henry and make Will Levis throw when everyone in the stadium knows he has to throw it.
Yeah, to me, this is a game that I'm not locking it. I'm not saying anything like that. But
come on.
No.
Come on. This is when it's fun. Lead pipe, lock it.
Well, I can't because I didn't see lead pipe like type team on Sunday. But if this defense is what I think it is, which I believe over the course of the season, it is a defense that gets you off the field, stops the run, and creates turnovers. If it's really a reliable unit, which I think it is, the Titans' weaknesses play into the Jaguars' hands, meaning it's not the offensive line that it was 2 or 3 years ago. It has a young quarterback. They've not been the kind of offense that can take over a game running. So this should be a game where a very good front seven of the Jaguars should be able to control it, force the young quarterback into mistakes. By the second half, there should be an interception or a fumble or something like that. We talked for 9 weeks about the identity of this team being that defense's ability to do that. Well, if it is, then you go out and do it at home against Tennessee, a team that has been a little susceptible to that. So I think in that sense it plays into it. No, I can't lock it. I can't lock it. I actually had 2 master locks in my hand last night for a project around the house, but I didn't bring them in the stadium today.
Didn't quite make it over. That's okay.
I'm not mentally tough. I don't have the competitive stamina to do that, Bucky.
Man,
I'll be honest. I know my weaknesses.
Man, I could never take you to Vegas. You're scared to put down a little.
Never been to Vegas.
Coin.
No.
Put down a little coin to gamble on yourself. I mean, sometimes you got to bet on your guys. I mean, come on, man. This is a big week for us. I expect us to bounce back, and I expect us to bounce back in splendid fashion, because after one loss, I know you always blame me and lump me in with the national media. Everyone, I mean, the bandwagon is very linky because everyone has jumped off the bandwagon because of one loss to the 49ers. Got to get back on track. Got to move to 7-3. So
Bucky's locking it.
Week can be a big showdown.
Are you locking it?
Bucky's locking it. I'll FedEx you my master lock.
Come on, man. I think I locked the one earlier against the Colts. Yeah, I locked this one. I mean, it's the same. When it comes down to quarterback play, this is a lock. I mean, we don't have a sponsor on it. Otherwise, I would give you a title sponsor for what kind of lock it should be, but it's lockdown.
I have an unopened master lock at home that I did not use yesterday. I will bring that to the stadium for you on Sunday because you are locked.
Okay, you know what? I'll walk around on the sideline with it around my neck dangling.
Okay, I like that. Kind of your own little turnover chain.
My own little turnover chain is to lock it down.
Lock chain.
That's what we do. Yes.
Jags fans, want customized Jags furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. Zipchair, furniture for fans. We still got to teach the Emery and Henry to Bucky when we come back. We've got plenty of time. It's an interesting formation. And, of course, we'll get into the Jaguars' defense a little bit and slowing down Derrick Henry. Is it still the same as it has been over the last number of years? Let's huddle up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguars regular season at Firehouse Subs. Get 2 medium subs for just $10 after any game when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Sign up at firehousesubs.com/field goals for Firehouse for offer details and to automatically receive this offer when you use your Firehouse Subs rewards account. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available on the Firehouse Subs app and online ordering.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Honestly, we probably should just, be more conscious of taking more shots, quite frankly. And again, you get in a situation too when you're going against a good pass rush. Sometimes it doesn't give you the opportunity because you got to hold the ball a touch longer, and it kind of goes back to the protection questions. It hasn't been the greatest, and so Trevor's had to get off. And we've had opportunities to push the ball down the field. It's just, one breakdown here, one breakdown there, and then he's moving, and next thing it's a completion for 3 or 4, or it's a scramble for 4. So, it's a combination of a lot of things.
Head coach Doug Peterson earlier today. Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks on this Wednesday ahead of Week 11. The Tennessee Titans come to town. And All Elite Wrestling returns to town with an explosive AEW Dynamite and Rampage. See all the action at Daly's Place Wednesday, January 10th. Tickets on sale this Friday at dailysplace.com. JP Shadrick, John Ogier, Bucky Brooks. Real quick, Emery and Henry, you split the offensive line. There's 3 linemen in the middle, the tackle and another guy out.
Are out with 2 receivers on each side.
That's right. Yeah. So groups of 3, Bucky, and then you can spread out the defense.
The old Emery and Henry.
3. Okay, you know what? What's funny is I think Arizona State won a game on Saturday night running a little version of Emery and Henry, a little swinging gate that UCLA could not figure out. So just maybe the old ball coach was onto something when it came.
Did he use that play when he was blowing you out, Buck, or was it?
Yeah, I don't know if he used that play when they were giving us a nice thrashing, but I will say this: his former school has been taking L's from us ever since. So He inspired us to. I think Coach Brown has reeled off 13 straight against the old Dukies.
That's right.
How about that?
Spurrier also had a play called Biddle Over the Middle, which was named after former Tennessee columnist Joe Biddle, who he had gone to high school with. It wasn't as good a play. It was just throwing the ball over the middle. But
I love it. I love it.
Middle over the middle, JP.
Yeah, those were the days for sure. Hey, Jaguars defense, and we talked about the idea of what this Tennessee team is. Well, they still have Derrick Henry back there, Bucky. I mean, is he still the same Derrick Henry? The numbers are still pretty high. Production is there, but is he the same physicality type player that he has been in the past? Is he losing anything at all in his age?
I mean, he's not as fast as he once was, but it doesn't matter. His style of play doesn't matter how fast you are at the running back position. He is a physical specimen. One, he's 6'4", 235, 240 pounds. So he's a tough guy to bring down. And if you let him get a bit of a runway, he can be a problem. And so the thing that the Jaguars have done the last couple of times when they faced him, they've done a really good job of meeting him before he can kind of get it going. So you want to do that. You need to hit him. And we saw that someone is going to have to lay the ooh-wop hit on him to kind of get everyone going. And so last year up in Tennessee, I think it was Shaq Quarterman hit him along the sideline and almost knocked him out. Somebody's going to have to hit him early to kind of slow him down, because if he feels good about himself, he gets going, he can be a handful and a nightmare to defend.
Yeah, talking to a colleague of mine who covers the Titans, says basically it. He's not that much different a running back. He's not getting as many reps or opportunities or carries as he once did. So he's not wearing you down at the end of the game and having those moments where nobody wants to tackle you, which I would think comes a little bit from them not wanting to wear him out. So there's a little bit of a chicken and the egg. How much do you run him to not completely wear him out, but then does he wear down the defense in that sense? But as you said, there's probably 4 or 5 games this year where he's going to look like Derrick Henry. You just don't want Sunday to be one of them.
No, you don't. We've seen that happen before to this organization.
We all know what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's not pretty when it's happening to you, certainly. A couple injury notes for the Jags. Jamal Agnew out for the game. Doug Peterson said that earlier in the day, Bucky. Parker Washington's window is open to practice. He was out there today. That's interesting news for the rookie wide receiver and punt returner. He injured his knee on his first career punt return back in, London, I guess, against Buffalo.
Sounds right.
Is what that was. And so there's a possibility he could even be back this week.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan.
And then that might be the idea there. Tyson Campbell re-injured that hamstring again, Bucky, last week, and that's not ideal at all.
No, it's not ideal, particularly coming off a bye week. And you'd like to think that the Jaguars took a very conservative approach to allow him to come back after the bye week. So who knows how long he may be out for? Who knows how it may impact him if he tries to go and play? Hamstrings are tough, and normally if it starts nagging, you never really get over it for the rest of the season. We'll see if he can gut it out, but it's really hard when you're a guy that plays on the corner and they do a lot of man-to-man, a lot of press stuff. When you don't have your wheels, it makes it difficult. And then in the return game, Jamal Agnew has really made some big plays to spark this team since his arrival. And when you lose that kind of playmaker in the kicking game, it impacts your offense. And so a lot of coaches, and particularly Doug, they think of the kicking game as another offensive play. And so when you don't have Jamal Agnew to kind of get us in great field position on a kickoff or to flip the field with a big punt return, it can impact your play calling. So we'll see if Parker Washington go. If not, Christian Kirk has to catch him. We'll see if he returns him or not. But it's a huge loss because you're talking about an all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber playmaker that you no longer have in the kicking game.
Yeah, and if you only get that one play, say he only makes 5 a year, that's still 1 every 3 games. Yeah. And when it flips it, just like against New Orleans, the playoffs last year looked different without Jamal Agnew. So the loss matters.
If Tyson's not out there, what's their approach with Hopkins? Is he still that guy you have to follow around, or what's the story?
Well, the main thing with Hopkins is he can run like he used to. He's always been a guy that's been more of a 50-50 jump ball specialist than a guy that would wear you out with these intricate routes. It just kind of requires that everyone knows that the ball is going to go in his direction. And so Andre Sisco, Rayshon Jenkins might have to help over the top, not because of the speed, but just because they're going to throw it up, and I would say for the corners that are playing against him, it's really important that you win early, meaning put your hands on him, be physical, disrupt him, don't allow him to get moving and get down the field, because that's when he makes his plays, when he has free access. You take away the free access and make him work, it could be more difficult and challenging for him to have that connection with Will Levis. When I look at the Titans receiver corps in general, this should be a game where the Jaguars kind of pick and choose where they play man-to-man. This should be a man-to-man game. This should be a game where if you're in the meeting room, you're the Shea Townsend, you might call, well, you look at what they have on that side, you should feel confident enough that, hey, guys, we can man up this week. We're going to go after it, and we're going to get after the young quarterback, because we know when we heat up the quarterback, he is prone to throw it to the other team. This is one where they should be able to hold up on the outside so they can heat him up on the inside.
Yeah, I'm not a huge stats analytics guy. I respect it. I don't use it because I'm not smart enough. But I am smart enough to see that DeAndre Hopkins has 3 touchdowns this year, all in one game. Mm-hmm. So he certainly has not been the consistent great player that he was in the past. And I agree with Bucky. This is one, to me, again, I think the Titans offense, this game to me is about how the Jaguars play. Last week I felt like they could have played well and still not beaten the San Francisco 49ers. If they play well and if they play how they play, they should beat the Tennessee Titans. I think they're a better team than them this year.
Woo! Look at you, John. Look at that.
They haven't always played well.
You're going to make the Titans video. You're going to make the Titans video if we don't get it done. I've locked it.
6-3.
But you're going to be
Titans are
right there
3
with
and 6.
me. You can be right there with me making those strong proclamations. I like it. Get out your comfort zone. Yes.
Yeah.
That's as close as you can come to a lock without locking it, by the way.
I mean, he basically said we're going to blow them out.
They haven't always played better.
I love the confidence. Say it with your chest, John. Say it with your chest. We're going to get it going.
I am ozone.
Yeah, you are. We're back in a moment. Our final thoughts, as if we need any more after that. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Jaguars at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you've got the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change. And mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars. That's Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
One of the things, as we get better as a football team and the more wins that we can sort of pile up, you're going to play better opponents, right? That's just the nature of the league, and we're seeing that. We're seeing better defenses. We're seeing better fronts. Got another one this week. Really good front, and they can get after a passer. Trevor's got to understand that, number one. Whether that means get through his progressions a little bit faster. We have to do a better job up front. Our backs are involved with protection, tight end. So it's a collective effort. I do think sometimes when you get hit, the number of times as a quarterback you get hit, it can affect your eyes, and your eyes can drop and focus on the rush to touch. But it's the one thing about Trevor that he's really good at continuing to keep his eyes down the field. And, we got to continue to coach him and help him and make sure he feels as comfortable as possible.
The head coach, of course, Doug Peterson, earlier today, and welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury. FieldsAuto.com. Titans, Jaguars in Week 11 coming up. And, hey, you can be one of the first to become a Daily's Place Blue member for the 24 season. Reserve your premium seat membership or individual luxury experience today, and you'll get guaranteed seats in the best locations. You'll get premium parking, a VIP entrance, and club access. For more, email ticketing at boldevents.com or call 904-633-2000. Coming up on the spring season at Daly's Place. That's coming in hot. It's already mid-November, and it's Week 11. Titans-Jaguars, it's a 10 a.m. Publix tailgate show, 12 p.m. countdown to kickoff on the Jaguars radio network, and the Titans-Jaguars game delivered by CSX. How tomorrow moves. Feeling good, John?
About Sunday?
No, about anything else. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
yes, the Titans-Jaguars game.
Pretty good. I got a little back pain. In
the world.
I mean, I think it adds up for them to play well because I think Doug is going to be on them, and I think they'll be receptive. So, and I think the Titans are a matchup that the Jaguars should fare well in. So, I think they win the game, but they got to play well to do it, and they didn't play well last week. So, can't lock it. Bucky can lock it. You wear the chain.
Yeah, I can lock it. I'm aware of the lock. I'm feeling better about the team bouncing back. I don't have any reason for it. It's just having faith in the head coach and having faith in the team that this is a resilient bunch. And they were embarrassed by the performance. I mean, they understood that last week, and we have to kind of put it to bed, but last week was an opportunity for the nation to kind of get a chance to look at the Jaguars, and they underwhelmed. And so now that you have a little egg on your face, typically you come back with a much better performance the following week. And so let's see if they can kind of take the lessons from that loss, and it helped them put forth a better performance this weekend.
And the division's getting tighter now. Of course, Houston's on a little bit of a run. Next 2 weeks are big. Tennessee and Houston.
Let the national media tell you, I mean, it's the Texans' division to win. Like, all of a sudden, it's C.J. Stroud and company. They're going to take it over. And so for the Jaguars, it's really important that they keep pace. And so the division doesn't tighten up unnecessarily. This is one that they need to take care of business. And then we can kind of see what it looks like the following weekend.
Yeah, that would be the head-up matchup with Houston after that. But, hey, take care of these two and swat them back down and then get to the AFC North trio in a row. That's what's ahead. We'll know in about 4 or 5 weeks what's going on, surely, with this Jaguars team.
JP, it's right there. It's lined up for the Jaguars to backdoor their way into the number 1 overall seed if they take care of business. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if you look at the schedule and the way it plays out, there is a plausible way for the Jaguars to have the top seed in the tournament. But they have to play. The team has to play better, and so it has to start this week.
1 o'clock, Sunday, Everbank Stadium. Bucky will be there with his chain on.
2 chains.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We've crossed something.
Well, then.
We've crossed something.
On that note, we'll call it a day.
There's the Emory Henry of singing.
It was something. That's Bucky Brooks, John Ogier. I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you to Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber, our entire crew, and thanks to you for watching. We'll catch you next time. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.